7 overdoses, 3 DEA raids, and over 20 years of addiction. Today on the show, we are having Jeremiah Allen to tell his story of redemption. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Prodigal Perspective podcast. As you can see, we got a little bit different setting here. We've also got a luxurious fire burning in the background. It's actually electric, but, it's there for ambiance, I guess you would say. But yeah, we're back for Season 2. My name is Damon.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is the Prodigal Perspective. Jeremiah, welcome on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Man, we're glad to have you here. We're glad to dive off into this story.
You've talked about spending more than 20 years chasing something that never satisfied. What did those years look like early?
So my early childhood, like I said, was good parents. Mom and dad went to church, grew up in church. Never had a relationship with God though. About junior high school is when I started straying away. Started off selling my prescription pills at school and smoking weed, stuff like that, just trying to be cool. And by doing that, it took me a lot farther than I ever wanted to go, eventually on fentanyl and overdose in prison and everything else.
So you mentioned growing up in church. How does a person go from growing up in church to, 7 overdoses, being raided by the, how does all that happen?
Well, I think it starts slow. You start off just by going out and smoking weed with your friends, and in my case, it's selling I was prescribed Adderall in junior high school, and I realized quick that I could sell those for money and buy my weed with it. And it started off like that, just selling the pills and going and buying a sack of weed with my money from them. And eventually, as I got into high school, it just progressively got worse and worse until that was all I was doing, was selling drugs and doing drugs. And what comes along with that, penitentiary and everything else.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned penitentiary, man. I guess it led you there 3 times.
I went to prison twice. I started catching felony charges in 2007. I caught a simultaneous charge, skipping work one day, riding around, selling drugs, ended up getting pulled over and, went to jail for the first time, sat in jail for like 30 days, ended up having to bond out, got put on probation. And that was like a start, of being in the system. I'm still on probation. I've never got off probation from 2007.
So you said you've been on probation since 2007. How old were you?
I was 19 when I first got put on adult probation.
And so you are 38 now?
Yeah.
So that's 20 years on paper, man.
Yeah, never off.
So what's going to change? Why is this time different? I mean, I know you've been to several treatment programs and whatnot, but how is this time different?
So this time I was able to actually surrender. I always had reservations before of well, maybe I can sell drugs, I just can't do drugs, or I thought I could still smoke weed and drink beer as long as I wasn't doing fentanyl or meth or anything. And, this time I've actually realized and understood that as the addict in me cannot indulge in anything like that, because as soon as I do it, I might smoke weed for a couple months, but then I get drunk. And then I get drunk and I'm going to try and find fentanyl. Yeah. So it's
it's that progression that all of us face, that have an addictive personality, for sure.
Thinking back to your 7 overdoses.
Yeah, I can run those.
It's like with 7 overdoses, I mean, dude, by the grace of God, you're here today. Obviously, God's got a plan.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, to make it out of 7 overdoses, I mean, going to prison twice is a lot, but it's overdosed 7 times. Tells me that God's really got a plan for you, or else you wouldn't have made it out of them. I have seen people make it out far less. So
for sure, to kind of run down them overdoses. So before fentanyl was in powder form, there was fentanyl patches.
Yeah,
and so my fentanyl journey started off with smoking the fentanyl patches. And 3 of my overdoses was on those. It was before Narcan was readily available, so people didn't just have it on them. Each of those times, an ambulance had to come. CPR was having to be administered the whole time they were on the way. And yeah, it was only by the grace of God, that I made it out of those. The third time they responded to an overdose, like the paramedics left the bag that like you give someone CPR with,
Mhm.
like with my family, and was like, he's gonna die if he keeps doing this.
Yeah. Man, and we see that reality all too often, man.
Yeah.
So 7 overdoses, 3 DEA raids. Take us through the most exciting DEA raid.
Oh man.
Not that it's exciting. I guess it is now, but
So
then,
like the DEA, man, in 2009, at this point I'm just selling weed and pills and stuff, but I was selling quite a bunch of Xanax and specifically, and the DEA kicked in my door one morning.
that's like some TV stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
crazy, like,
Yeah.
and I looked back at it and I was really kind of heartbroken because I had a niece that was in the house at the time. I was living at my mom and dad's house, so it
Yeah.
wasn't even my home. You know what I'm saying? Like the DEA's raided me in my parents' house, and so they kick in the door. Come in, guns drawn. Everybody, get on the ground. Da da da. And it really wasn't.
Were you scared?
Yeah, yeah, for
That's
sure.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. That was like I knew I was already on probation, and I mean, it was pretty wicked, man. It was like a December day. It was super cold. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
in my boxer drawers,
Outside.
in the
Mm,
street, cuffed, just waiting.
Yeah.
And they found some drugs and stuff, and took me to jail that day. And then the other two, pretty short version of that is like, as I got out of prison the first time, I kind of graduated from selling pills to heroin. And at that point, I was selling heroin back at my mom and dad's house, selling heroin. And I didn't know this, but people was like coming and buying and then overdosing like right down the road. And so the cops had been responding to these overdoses. And anyways, they ended up coming once in 2017 in March and came in the house, of course, arrested me with heroin, gave me a possession with intent charge. I bonded out, got out, went right back to doing the same thing.
Mm.
Ended up about 3 months later, came back in on me. I had sold to a buddy that lived up the street. He had ops host, and long story short, I knew that they were going to come because I'd seen the cops go up the street. I'd sitting there and I was telling my wife they're going to be here in the morning because the cops just rode by real slow, like after the ambulance left. And so I cleaned out my house, cleaned out everything. They came in the next morning, searched and searched, couldn't find nothing. Well, went down to the road and started emptying my trash can out on the ground. And they found a cut piece of straw and like a razor blade. So they charged me with paraphernalia. And it was kind of weird. I never had a DEA detective come in the courtroom for me before either. But that time I was like, I'm going to bond out on this too because, shoot, I just bonded out on a possession with intent. While I'm sitting in there on video court and the public defender's like, who's that walking in? And I'm like, shoot, I don't know. And I look and it's the DEA detective. And he tells the judge straight up, like, we responded to this overdose. It's going to be a threat to the community, to release him for anything. So
obviously you did prison time after that. You've had all these overdoses, DEA raids, all this stuff. What got you here today?
I would like to say probably in 24, like I met you in 24 and that was kind of a crazy story.
Both of us.
Yeah, I met both of y'all, coming up to Bradford, and we found out that we both, had a mutual friend that's passed away from an overdose, and time where I was still, so I started wanting to change then, but like that was also at a time where I was still wanting to be like 1 foot in, 1 foot out type.
That's the case with a lot of us too, man. Like, but I think we all get to the point to where you figure out like you can't have divided loyalty between God and the world.
No, like I was just like it talks about like a man double-minded, is unstable in all his ways.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do better. I wanted to have the benefits from doing better, but I didn't want to actually do better. And so that just like led me through another program where I did actually start to build a relationship with God. But at that time, like I said, I wasn't ready to fully surrender. So like it didn't, fully stick then. This time, like I say, I've I've let go of that pride and that ego of like, oh, I can still do this or I can do that, and just really put my all into recovery, and seeing that God's blessing me in it. Like I really expected to go to prison the last
So
Daniel went to
that was a
court.
crazy day.
Yeah.
I do
Okay.
got to tell that just
Yeah.
a little bit. So, me and Jeremiah, he came in, he goes to court, and ironically enough, we get in the courtroom, and I'm the first witness they call to the stand. And as I get up there, the prosecutor, I recognize him from 3.5 years prior on my own case. And he walks up, and you would think that he wouldn't remember said or anything like that. However, he clearly remembered me because he walked up and he says, "You're here for Mr. Allen?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay. Your name Daniel Anthony Skaggs, and not many people know my middle name. I'm not, I don't dislike it, but I don't ever hear it." And so
Right.
I looked up and I thought, man, this dude is fixing to cook us. Like we're fixing to be cooked because he's going to bring up like all my past that he says, "No, I'm glad to see you to talk about. I'm not here for that. We're here for Mr. Allen today." And so that's what we're going to talk about. And man, I just remember thinking, dude, this is the worst thing that could have possibly happened.
Mhm.
But anyway, go ahead and
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Like it was almost like somebody says your middle name. That's like when your grandma's getting on to you or something. Daniel Anthony Skaggs, like,
yeah.
like, it's serious.
Father?
It's
Yeah.
serious when they bring out the middle name. I was just
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, maybe this was a bad idea. But God showed me, I went through the Haven, and I believe right before I came here, I went through the Haven, and I didn't know for sure where I was going to go yet, but I started praying about it, and I was just like, God, wherever you want to put me, allow that door to open. And I believe He really worked it out that way because, like I say, my intention wasn't to first come to every Arkansan, but like I say, when I started praying for God's will and not my own, because I was just like, whatever you want, this is what I want to do, but this hasn't been working. So it's like, God, wherever you want me, and this is where I ended up, and I couldn't be happier, and like I say, I'm thankful for the fact that He worked it out the way He did.
Whenever we were in that courtroom, and I'll say this, like I was sitting back there, on the bench after everybody had spoke and said what they wanted to say, and I just remember thinking, man, this is just not. I had to stop and just say a short prayer, like because I thought, man, this is just not the best scenario. And I mean, out of 5 or 6 cases that I've dealt with, only one of them ended up in penitentiary time. And it was just due to the fact that this guy just had a lot of stuff stacked up against him. And so he's welcome to come back anytime, but he did have to go to a little time. However, I thought that was going to be you because that was on it.
It was relentless.
So, dude, that's Romans 8:28 though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the stuff that you've gone through in your past, God used to, help you in a courtroom situation. And, we know that God causes all things to work together for good
Hey,
for those that love Him.
It did, bro. Like the judge,
crazy.
even the judge, I could my emotions was going up and down in that because it was going good. Then the prosecutor would come up and it would start looking real bad. And then the judge would, be interested in what Daniel's talking about. And then the prosecutor would bounce back and it'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, man, but dude, he did have grace for us though. And at the end of it, just so everybody knows, I did walk up and thank the prosecutor for giving me a chance. Yeah. And for giving Jeremiah another chance.
For sure, man. Yeah, so since I've been here at every Arkansan, my relationship with God, I've actually devoted the time to build that relationship. Like before, I kind of just got in a habit of read the devotional, read the Bible, say a quick prayer. But the time I've spent here getting in my word, doing my morning devotionals all by myself, and then going, and of course doing the class time. I love that too. But that one-on-one time, y'all talk about everybody, it says it's not religion, it's relationship. And this is the first chance I've got to build that relationship. I've fully trusted God rather than leaning on my own understanding and trying to do it my way. And also like his mercy and grace that he's had on me. Like I've allowed myself the time to look back and see that I should have died a long time ago, or should be in prison a lot longer than I've had to go and stuff like that, and just being grateful for the
Yeah.
fact that he spared me so much.
You said something earlier that stood out to me, and it was something about you knew about God. When you were little, you knew about Him, but you didn't know God really.
Yeah.
And so that was powerful because I mean I've been that way.
Yeah.
Like I knew about God, I knew that He was good, and I knew that I had been too bad for anything to do with that.
Yeah.
But I was wrong because I just knew about Him. I didn't actually know Him.
That was my thing. Growing up in church, I heard Bible stories, but I wasn't able to like see the meaning behind the Bible stories, like, David and Goliath and like I just thinking, oh, it's a cool story. But as an adult and like my mom, when I got to be a teenager, she would be like, I'd be like, Mom, do I really got to go to church? And she'd be like, son, like one day you'll understand why I'm making you go to church. And like, it's only now that I've been broken down enough in my life to have no other option but to cry out to God and lean on his strength, like that I understand what she was preparing me for.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, if someone that knew you back then could see you now, like what would you say about Jeremiah?
So like a difference that somebody would see probably from before to now is like, before, instead of living like a transparent life, I always had like a hidden life. Like now somebody could speak to me and know me and I can be transparent with them. Also, before somebody would just see me as someone who would exploit people rather than like try to serve others. Like being here's taught me a lot about serving others and getting outside myself. But like before I was so selfish, all I would do is if I would do something for you, it was for my benefit. And just someone with a big heart, and that loves other people and has compassion and stuff.
That's what it's all about, man. Love. And so if you could look into your camera and you could tell the person out there that may be watching this, that if you wanted to encourage them in any way, how would you do that? And what would you say?
I would just want to say that you're not alone. That resources are out here to help you. And as long as you still got breath in your lungs, there is hope for you. Don't give up on yourself because you have value.
You got that picture we can pull up?
Yeah.
In the before and after picture?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Favorite Bible verse? You're gonna have to figure that out before you leave EA.
I know. I mean, I really like the Philippians 3:14 where Paul's talking about I press on toward the mark of the prize. Well, 3:14 is also.
You got the wrong.
No, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
Funny story about this tattoo. It was supposed to be Philippians 4:13. Like I told
Really?
I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that it was messed up till like a year after I had it. And then
That's the funniest part of this whole podcast.
That's what happens whenever you get. That's what happens when you get prison tats, bro.
This wasn't even in prison, bro.
Okay.
Oh my god!
And then I'm like running to my Bible, thinking like, "Oh gosh."
At least it
please
wasn't
don't-
like 5:13. There's only
don't-
4 chapters.
Yeah, please don't, dude. That was crazy.
Please don't be a verse where it talks about something crazy.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go with that verse right there for whatever reason. What's your favorite worship song or whatnot? We're just rapid fire questions now.
So really, I've been on that God, I'm just grateful for you.
Sing it for us.
No.
More.
Who am
I'm grateful for. I'm trying to imagine. I'll sing it with you, buddy.
Grateful for you.
Yeah, I'll sing it with you.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson God's taught?
That
I know one.
The biggest lesson that God has taught me is really just to humble myself, and that I'm not going to get anywhere having pride and ego or thinking I know everything. Like I just got to humble myself in all circumstances too when it comes to it. Really.
What's your favorite thing about Daniel?
I like his laugh.
Oh my goodness.
Coffee or energy drinks?
I'm a coffee guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like both.
Death Wish.
That-
I'm
Yeah.
on that Death
What
Wish.
is your
That
favorite
Death Wish is
energy
good,
drink?
man. It's organic.
Dude,
too,
it
you know?
is. Dude, that
That
tea,
stuff is
or that water, the liquid death.
Liquid,
Yeah,
I ain't
man.
had it yet, but I buy the Death Wish espresso purple bag.
The liquid death's water though. It's like sparkling water.
Yeah, I ain't trying.
Man, hey, when I come here, you know, like 4 years ago or whatever, I didn't like sparkling water. But I become
Still.
bougie.
Well,
the
no,
more I'm
like
here.
Amber drinks sparkling water, and it's not like Amber's frugal, so it's not that good. But you can go down to Carson's office and get that liquid death stuff. Boy,
Yeah.
that stuff's
Man.
fire.
Is
Man.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're bougie here at EA.
Yeah, we like the sparkling water.
You like sparkling water.
So I heard this in your story, and I'll kind of wrap this up with this. You know, you said, "But God."
But God, man. I mean, can't be nothing but God. Like I say,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
right.
everything I've been through and everything that He's brought me through. Like you said, somebody would have thought my story was over. Somebody would have expected me to be in prison forever or already dead. And it's only because of God that I'm not.
Yeah, and you know, the world saw 7 overdoses, but God saw a testimony. Like the world saw the Dea Raids, you know, but God saw a person that was a future disciple. You know, the addiction, but God saw like the testimony that you could bring to help other people, man. And so just, you know, it goes all in saying, man, He's not done. We definitely see the leadership, talent, and the commitment that you've given, and privileged to get to share your story, man, and with you and be a part of this. For sure.
Thank y'all for
Also,
having me.
for anybody out there that's wondering, man, with the reason why we tell these stories is it's all for God's glory.
Maybe today you feel like your story is over. Maybe you feel like it's too late and that it's impossible to walk out into recovery. But I think you could listen to Jeremiah's story and see that there is hope, but that hope is only found in the arms of Jesus Christ. So for today, I am Damon.
I'm Daniel.
And this was the Prodigal Perspective.
I don't feel failure, I feel repair, so I bet on myself every chance I get. If I fall short, I fall forward still, cause broke respond to stubborn will. I learned silence, started the noise, conversation be reckless choice. I learned time and don't mess with rush, and face move mountains without a push. Some days hurt more than others do, but pain they stop me, school me too. I don't race cars, I respect they roll, they proof. I survive and try my soul, I ain't flawed.